Welcome to We Poets. My name is Sally Baker, and I'm the host of We Poets. We Poets is a poetry show for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 13. So if you're watching our program and you would like to be a guest and a poet on We Poets, please call me at the number that will appear on the screen. I also will give it to you now. Area code 510-848-6905. Today I'm going to interview a very interesting high school student, and he is a writer, a songwriter, and he's going to tell us all about his career so far and what he hopes to do in the future doing songwriting. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Anthony Paez. Hi, Anthony.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing really good.
Good. I'm so glad you could come and let me interview you on We Poets. So please tell us. I have a few questions here I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you have any projects that you are working on at the moment?
Yeah, right now I'm working on a puppet show.
Oh, tell us all about that puppet show.
Well, for my high school, we're making a play where basically, because of COVID, obviously the mask,
Yes.
we decided to use puppets instead of just normal actors. That way, can't see the mask.
Good. Well, I want to do a series of shows about the mask, so you're my first guest. So thank you for being my first one. Is your first time on TV?
It is.
Oh, are you nervous?
I'm terrified.
Oh, you're going to do great, great. Now, tell me, what are your goals in life?
My goal right now is to become a director. I've always loved movies, and I think it'd be really cool to make one.
Good. So what types of movies do you want to make?
I'd like to make action movies. I've always felt that the high stakes are always really nice to watch on the screen.
Good. Now tell us about this project that you're working on now with the puppets.
Well, basically the show is about a kind of show like Sesame Street that airs, and basically the creator is Cuckoo Bananas. That's basically it. And there's some problems in the filming, and it comes with a really big twist. I don't want to reveal too much.
Oh, no. We want to wait and see when it's finished. How long do you think it'll be before you finish it?
It's supposed to air in May. Well, not air, but it's supposed to perform in May. And we are done with the script as of 3 days ago. So it should be out in about a month or two.
Good. Now, how many people are working on this?
The big production has about, I want to say 20 people.
20?
Yeah, it's a fairly big class.
Oh.
So, we have all these different type of people doing different things to, make this come together.
I see. Now tell us about this puppet. Who created the face and the clothing? And
Well, there's a lot of different puppets. I think the one that I made is a light bulb wizard.
A light bulb wizard?
Yeah, basically, we decided to have like a light bulb character to host the lights. Do all sorts of light production in the show. So make him a light bulb. It's really, it's ingenious. But basically, what we did, we took a sort of lamp and we covered it in a bowl. That way, we could kind of have a big old light bulb.
Oh.
And we covered it in clothes. We covered it in a robe and hat, and it was born.
Wow. Isn't this interesting? So the puppet is male or female?
Male.
A male puppet.
Yeah.
Good. So you like to create things yourself, like using your hands to design things and sew things and make things?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the hobbies I have. It's nice to see kind of the finished product when you've spent so much time working on something.
Right. What are some of your other hobbies?
My other hobbies, again, I like like creative stuff, writing. I like music a lot, actually. I'm a aspiring songwriter, and I think it's really nice to just, I guess, see how everything turns out once you've worked on it for so long. That's what I really like about, again, writing and songwriting.
What instrument do you play?
I play the guitar and the piano.
Good for you. What kind of songs do you like to play on the guitar?
I like to play a lot of kind of, I guess, campfire songs, like classic, just instrumentals.
Now you do this for fun, like on the weekend, or a bunch of you guys or gals get together and play?
I do it, I guess on the weekend, as much as I can, really. Just tuning out, you know.
Do you get songwriting from your parents or siblings or friends?
I mostly just write for myself. I'll perform in front of people occasionally. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but sometimes I'll make it work.
Where do you perform?
Really anywhere. A lot of the time it's at my school, you know, with friends, really anywhere.
Uh-huh. Good, good. Now let's see, what is your writing process?
I'll basically start with a, you know, kind of small idea that I really find interesting. And then I'll write the beginning, I guess, to kind of figure out what would happen in the beginning of the story and the end. And I just kind of try to weave the two sides together until I get something really good.
Good, good. Uh-huh. Now let's see, what people have inspired you to do your writing?
What mostly has inspired me, I think, is kind of seeing cartoons on TV and like movies and stuff like that. Seeing, I think, kind of like Pixar. I think they're the things that they can do, you know, because obviously they have like really good movies. Seeing how creative minds can, you know, make a really big thing, I feel is something I want to do.
Many years ago, Pixar invited me to bring some of our interns down and watch them produce some things, and it was so interesting.
Wow.
Very nice. Many years ago, I'll never forget that. And then I think they served us a lunch, and that was good too.
Must be a dream.
Yeah. So now let's see here. You told me, what did you write about most often?
I mostly write, I tend to lean towards, I guess, dystopian concepts. I just really like the, I guess, concept of little guys trying to, I guess, take out this big power. You know, it's like really interesting.
Now, like I say, I'm going to do some series about the mask. So tell us about, how did you feel when we had to have, we couldn't be in the classroom to have classes?
Well, I think as every student, I was really excited because I didn't have to go to school. But after a while, yeah, I did take definitely preferred school over, I guess, online learning and, you know, having to wear a mask and all that. But, you know, it comes with pros and cons.
Yeah, yeah, but you prefer to be in the classroom.
Yeah, I definitely prefer.
Yeah, I'll be glad when we can take these things off too. And
yeah.
Now, what recommendations do you have for young aspiring writers?
I think my biggest recommendation would to be, if you have a project that you're working on, I think you should, if you feel in any way kind of exhausted, burnt out about it, you just don't like working on this, you should move on to something else instead of continuing to work on this tiring thing, because you might just completely hate it after a while and you might not even finish it. I think it's better to like kind of span out what you're going to do into multiple topics.
Now, do you think you'd like to train younger kids, like middle school or elementary kids, how to make puppets and do write their little plays and what have you?
I think it'd be really interesting. You know, it's creativity kind of comes to a person, but it's really good to give kids, you know, like a push.
Now, before we end, have you done any traveling?
Yes, I've done traveling a lot of my life. I'm actually going to Mexico in 3 days.
Wonderful. What are you going to do there?
I'm there to visit my family. My nephew is actually turning 1.
Oh, how sweet. Good.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a big birthday party.
Yeah.
And lots of food.
Definitely.
What are your favorite foods?
You know, I like the classic stuff, you know, quesadillas, tacos. I love this thing called a quesadilla, which is basically just a taco that's covered in sauce and you got cheese and stuff like that. It's really good.
Good, good. So are there any parting words that I haven't asked you that you would like to put out?
I don't have anything really serious. I guess if you like writing, you should watch this show.
Good. Now, before we end, give your email again, so if people would want to contact you. It'll come up on the screen, but give it again, please.
Yes. It is ant.pa2005@gmail.com.
Good. Well, thank you so much for coming and letting me interview you. It was really interesting, and I know we're going to be hearing great things about you. And I'll say he was my first guest back after the 2-year absence that we've had. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank
it was
you.
wonderful to be here.
Well, thank you. Welcome back to We Poets. My name is Sally Baker, and I'm the host of We Poets. I hope you enjoyed watching our first interview with our young man. And now I have a very interesting man that I'm going to interview. He's a barber. In all the 38 years that I produced We Poets, I've never interviewed a barber. So this is my first time. So here we go. His name is Anthony Green. Hello, Mr. Green.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
Doing wonderful, doing wonderful.
I'm so glad you could come in and let me interview you, my first barber.
That's a treat.
That's a treat.
Yeah.
When did you first start cutting hair?
I first started cutting hair around 1991. Yeah, it started with my mom. She was an apartment manager, and someone left a pair of clippers in the apartment. Instead of throwing them away, she gave them to me, and I kind of like picked it up. I was about 16 years old then.
Who did you first practice on?
I first practiced on myself because no one would allow me to cut their hair because I was just starting off. So I started on myself. We had a three-way mirror in the restroom, in the bathroom, and I would take that mirror, and with that mirror I was able to see all angles, and it helped me get better to the point to where I started cutting my brother's hair after that because they seen how good I was getting. Yeah.
You had two brothers, huh?
Yeah, I have two brothers. Two brothers and a sister from my mom's side of the family. And they allowed me to cut their hair and get better. And from there, I started cutting my friends, and from there, a couple people in the neighborhood. And a few years later, I decided to get my license, go off to barber college and get my license. I originally went to the barber college right here in Oakland off of Broadway. It was a Moeller's Barber College, and I went there for about a week, but ended up transferring and moving to Stockton.
Stockton?
Yes, I moved to Stockton.
Oh.
Yeah, and then went to barber college in Stockton and finished out there.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you have more clients in Oakland than you did in Stockton?
Yes, I would say I did. Stockton, it was a very slow town back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was kind of slow, and you had to, whenever you go to a new shop, you have to earn your rep, and people have to know you, and being new to the town, I really didn't have a lot of clients, so it was hard finding business out there at first. So you would do things like have discounted days for people to come in, and you can try to obtain customers that way, pass out cards, but it's real slow out there because people would actually prefer to drive to the Bay Area to get their hair cut.
Really?
Versus, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was slow at first, but from there I ended up finding work in Modesto at a shop. I forget the name. I want to say it's called The Shop, but I'm not exactly sure of the name. But there I was able to do really good as a barber.
Good.
Yeah, it was like a 30-40 minute drive from Stockton, but it was worth it. Yeah.
Well, as a barber, what are the most things you do? Like cut hair, or for the women do the eyebrows, or for the men the beards and the goatees? Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, as a barber, you would perform haircuts, just about every type of haircut you could. In barber college is great too, because you have the opportunity to cut a wide array of different type of textures. You would be able to cut straight hair, curly hair, and that's what I would suggest to anybody going to a barber college, is to try to be as versatile as you can. So when you graduate, then you'll have more options. When you get your license, and you have more options, and you won't be limited to just curly hair clients or straight hair clients or men or women like that. But yeah, I would do men, women, kids, basic haircuts, things of that nature. The shop that I was at in Modesto, we had women beauticians there, so we would they would do like certain aspects of their hair, and then need a barber to finish the other parts. But men, women, kids, Old people, people in hospitals. I know some barbers do like mortuary style cuts
Yes,
too, to
yes.
where somebody might pass away and
Mm-hmm.
you end up cutting their hair. But dogs,
Dogs.
dogs,
Oh,
yeah, dogs.
did you ever have any dogs that bit you?
No, no, never,
Good,
never, no.
good.
Yeah.
What types of dogs did you trim?
Me personally, I never really cut any dogs, but I have friends that did.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And I would hear about those experiences, but never anyone getting bit or anything like
oh,
that.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, when people come, did you also shampoo their hair or just do the cutting?
Yeah, I shampoo from time to time. Mainly the style of haircutting I was doing was like in and out, people going on job interviews
Oh,
or
yes.
needing to get in and out. Not really the being pampered style type of grooming, but just the real quick in and out type of grooming.
What are the styles that you prefer to do?
I would prefer a style called like the taper. It's real easy.
What's that?
It's sort of like where you trim at the temple and the nape of the neck, the back of the neck, and just bring the hair down a little bit and give them a nice edge or line up around. And that's kind of like my specialty. Yeah.
Now, how about the beards? Are those difficult to work on?
No, the beards aren't difficult at first. You know, a beard might be difficult, but you know, it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. You know, I would say that's the easiest part. And some of your clients might only have beard hair, like, you know, because the older you get, the more hair you start to lose.
Yes, yes.
Some people just come in and might want just their beard cut. So, yeah.
Now, the only time I went to the barber, I used to go and have him do my eyebrows with the razor.
Yeah. Yeah, now that part I never really got into it because by the time I left the shop, people weren't really doing it, and the females, they would get it done a lot, and they would go to the Indian women who use the thread, and they would get it threaded. Yeah, and they were very good at the Indian and the Latino women. They would take a piece of thread and somehow arrange it in their hand and just do it with no electricity, no nothing, and just trim away at the eyebrows.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Yes,
I think that'd be kind of scary for me anyway.
Well, no, yes, they have people like at malls that do it, and some of the salons around here, you might find someone that can do it.
And that's called threading?
Yeah, it's called threading.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Now I want to ask about men who are bald. When they come in, they just come in to have you shampooed or what? I often wondered about that.
No, if they're bald, it's pretty much, you try to create a style. Nowadays, they have what they call enhancements. And you can like spray colorant on their hair to make it look as if they have hair.
You're kidding.
Yeah, no, they have some type of it's almost like a wig for men. And you can glue it to the scalp and cut it down and make it look like they have hair. So there's options for men that are going bald or are currently bald. There's plenty of options that barbers have to get them a certain style. You know, they don't have to be bald if they don't want to, but you know, some people are comfortable with it, some people are happy with it, but there are options for bald men nowadays in the barbershop.
Oh, that's good, good. Now let's talk about children, like when mothers bring in their little kids, you know, to have haircuts. Do you have them squirming and screaming and crying, and what do you do?
Some kids are better than others, but for the most part, like, kids are, you have to be a certain type of barber, have a certain type of temperament to cut a kid.
Cut children,
And you have to like go above and beyond. You have to make them comfortable.
Yes.
You know, I remember getting cut as a child. I think the shop was called Johnson's over here on Sacramento Street.
Oh.
And that was one of my first haircuts my grandfather took me to, and I just remember it was like one of the worst experiences of my life. Because he didn't have that temperament.
Oh, yes.
No, and it was just.
Oh.
And you know, as a child, there's no class or no TV shows saying this is what you're supposed to do when you go inside the shop. So the vibration from the clippers or whatever it's real like a shock to a child.
Yes,
and it tickles the back of the neck, especially if you're not used to it.
Oh.
And it could be real annoying to a child. So as a barber, you have to remember that, and you have to coach them through it and walk them through it and be understanding and having like candy and toys.
Oh,
and
yes.
that helps a lot too.
Helps a lot.
And TV, sometimes you want to distract them.
Right.
And then the parents have to get involved.
Right,
and,
right.
Know, and before you know it, the child gets used to it, and you don't have to do those type of things anymore. But yeah, children, it requires a lot. It requires a lot.
Now, before we end, your son is an intern, right?
Yes, he is.
Could you tell us quickly about him, please?
Oh yeah, my son Jabril. I don't know if I should let him tell you, or if I'm going to tell, I'll tell you. But yeah, Jabril, he's an intern here. He's been an intern for about 3 weeks now.
Good.
He's in the film, he's in the animation. So this is like the right place for him, and couldn't come at a better time. He made a film that was in the festival, the March Madness Festival, I think it was called, My Truth. And for those who are interested in seeing it, they can, I guess, go to the YouTube or the Facebook page and see it. I don't know the links for it right now, but they can search for it. And it's a very interesting film and that he made. But he's also in the animation.
Good.
He draws a lot.
Very talented.
Yes, very
like
talented.
his father.
Thank you. But yeah, he's very in tune to the arts, and he's very what do you call it? Peculiar when it comes to creating. He has to he uses his own direction, and he wants to have control over everything.
Good.
Yes.
He's a leader, not a follower.
Exactly.
Well, do you think he'd like for me to interview him on We Poets?
I think he would. I think it'll be good for him too.
Yes.
I think it'll be good for him.
Well, maybe next week I'll see if he'll come and let me interview him.
Thank you so much.
After interviewing you.
Yeah, I think he will like that.
Yes. Well, you are a wonderful speaker. This is the first time you've appeared on TV?
No, it wasn't. I can't recall, but my older son, Umi, he's in a commercial or two with Comcast, so.
Oh.
Yes, so I'm in a commercial and a few clips with him.
Good.
Yes,
Well, so this is a family affair.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful. Now, what did you give your name as a barber when you were active before you retired?
What did I give my name?
As a barber, did you have a Barber Joe or?
Barber Joe? No, I was the barber.
The barber.
The barber.
The barber.
Yes, the barber.
Isn't that wonderful? The barber, Anthony Green.
Yes, I got that name from my friend, Little Larry.
Little Larry.
Little Larry. Yes, he's from Berkeley. He's right here from Berkeley, and he would always say the barber every time he called me or seen me. Yeah.
Oh, good. What kind of work does he do?
I haven't caught up with Little Larry in a minute, but yeah, whatever he's doing, I'm sure he's good at it.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah. Maybe I can interview him too.
Right.
Well, anyway, I want to thank you so much for coming and let me interview you, my first barber. And you don't do any more hair, right? You've retired.
I retired, but I still do my sons and a couple other family members.
Yes. Do you prefer to do women or men's hair?
I'm more comfortable with women. I mean, not women, but
men's.
I'm more comfortable with cutting men's hair because I do their styles better. And with women, it's you don't want to mess them up.
Oh no.
You don't want to mess them up.
Oh no. And women can get very,
Exactly.
Well, I want to thank you again for coming. You did an excellent job.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I'm going to see if your son will come and let me interview him too.
That would be nice.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Thank you.
And boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen watching, if you would like to be on We Poets, if you have a child who would like to be on and write poetry, the children have to be between the ages of 6 and 13. Or if you're an adult professional like Mr. Green here today and you'd like to come and tell the young people something about your career that young people can pursue when they graduate from high school and college, please call me. I'll give you the number now and it'll also appear on the screen. My name is Sally Baker and I'm the host of We Poets, and the We is spelled WEEPOETS, and the office number is area code 510-848 6905. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Let's wave goodbye to our audience. Goodbye, everybody.